Whoa. After searching vigorously through each of the rooms, he knew his findings would eventually lead him here. This is it. Hugo walks towards the nearest lampshade and switches it on. Switches the lampshade on, not the lamp. Dimly illuminated, he sees the extent of how lavish this part of the house is. From the customized window drapes to the vintage furnishings. Everything here exudes that extravagance. But much like the interior Hugo's seen so far, he finds this one in particular reeks of it. Plastered from wall to wall, a gloom lingers. It's as if the room itself is moldering, despite its preserved nature. I mean, I guess I don't have to save. Because it seems like you're really... Like, it's not like you can skip or, like, miss things. Because it only lets you click on certain things at a time. Just kidding. There's so much to click on in this room. Oh my god. Meticulously organized set of academic books, ranging from nonfiction to geography, are all on display. However, hidden away behind the vast collection are some children's fairy tales, all carefully kept. Classic wooden chest lies at the foot of the canopy bed. Its lock still firmly holds, safeguarding whatever's inside. Dang, I want to know what's in there. Leather-bound journal rests on the edge of the table. Its pages are torn out so haphazardly that the binding itself is starting to fall out. Oh, is that what's all over the floor? Scattered pieces of paper, all forgotten, lie waiting on the cold floor. Heavily etched markings are found scrawled all over the papers. Aww. An old photo of a lost time. Sweet summertime memory of a little girl with her beloved grandfather. That was cute. Atop the fireplace, unblemished and unmarked by time, hangs a curious and familiar painting of a beautiful woman floating on water. I want to see it. Bet you that's a mermaid. Pristine pearl-white tea set sits patiently by, untouched and unused for quite some time. I need to hurry. Don't want to stay here for too long. Oh, okay. Searches and searches, and still no sign of Lewis. To Hugo, even if there's a fragment, singular thread to that person, to their real selves, he could find them. But there's nothing. Not one thing pertaining to him. It's as if the thought of Lewis barely exists at all. What is going on? I clearly sensed that presence from before, but it's gone again. Damn it. Wish I had more time. No, calm down. Has to be here. Just need to focus. He ponders again, retracing every step and every little detail, hoping that he overlooked something. Yet, all he knows is that the one tangible thing that connects him, that tethers so closely to this space, and most of all to Henry, is the letter. Words of promise, of love, all delicately etched onto a page, but tainted with a powerful and dark emotion that's been festering for too long. Tainted. From this very start of all this, Hugo believed that whoever Lewis was, they were the ones responsible. He thought he could find them and convince them to stop their haunting for good, to bring them peace and move on. However, that isn't the case anymore. The unnatural force that binds everyone so closely together in this family is not the cause of an angry spirit. No, it's something far more devious than that. As he takes the letter out from the envelope, he notices a change within. Bearing no foreboding thread at the bottom of the page, Looks just like a regular letter, or rather, what it once was. Sad and tragic love. If you can't come, then I understand. Things have gotten more complicated with your mother ever since she found out about us, right? I'm sorry, Henry, for everything. It hurts to see you so torn up like this. I would never hurt you or drag you along with me. If this is to be our farewell, then can I ask you one last favor? Could you keep my locket? I know this is selfish of me, but I'd like for you to have it. I'd be happy to know it's safe with you. My heart will forever be yours, Henry. With love always, Lewis. So, this was the true letter? Small warmth emanates from the paper, wrapping closely around his fingers, quiet and soothing. The fragment Hugo was searching for. Lewis, I'm sorry. You are also a victim in all this, too. Please, if you can hear me, I need your help. Whoa! Without warning, the sound of a click can be heard across the bedroom. As if something unlocked itself. Like the treasure chest? Hugo turns his head towards the sound and sees the chest. Unlike the other furniture, its dark, rustic features have not been maintained well. Left to rot on its own. Oh my goodness. Suddenly he stops at the sound of a voice, a sweet voice whispering to him, beckoning him towards the fireplace. Oh no. Come here, my dear sweet boy. Aw, heck. You know I gotta. You know I gotta. Oh. So I was trying to get rid of this. There we go. There, mounted by the fireplace, is a painting of a beautiful woman floating on water. Her pale skin is incandescent, brilliantly prominent against the contrast to the dark murky waters that keep her hidden. Keep her bound to the canvas. Hugo stares intensely at the picture. An emphatic sorrow swells within him, disarming his very senses and forcing him to inch closer. Surrendering himself to the sweet song. Oops, oopsie, who am I to not die to a mermaid? Poor thing, how lonely you must feel. You're a lot like him. Like Henry. Uh-oh. As Hugo approaches closer and closer to the painting, and his mind screaming to run, he sees it. He can finally see beyond the facade the lady portrays, for what the painting truly is. But don't worry, I can take away that sadness. A deformed creature. A mermaid. Okay, well that's rude. Are you suggesting that mermaids are deformed? Or just this particular one is? In any case, phrasing. That's rude. Floats above the surface. The voice whispers. Large, hollow eyes stare back, boring deeply into his eyes. Her skin is melting, bleeding heavily, this black ichor as it gushes out from the canvas. Some of it starts to hit not only the floor, but Hugo as well. Black viscous tar clings persistently onto him, unrelentless as they continue to pile up. And then he feels it. What drew him initially to this thing? A deep sense of longing rushes through him, snuffing out what little control he had left. Finally embracing this nature. To come home. Take my hand. Without hesitation, Hugo reaches out his hand while his body leans in closer to the mermaid. She grabs and pulls him in. Not once looking back, he dives and follows after her, returning to nothing. Oopsie. You know I gotta die to a mermaid. I gotta... Okay, don't go to the painting. No, stay focused, Hugo. I won't let it get to me. Sparing himself, he heads toward the chest and opens it. Inside, scrambled together, are bunches of notebooks and small trinkets. Hugo continues to rummage through when he stumbles across an old newspaper article. Oh no, young man found dead by the lake. An unidentified young man was found on the morning of blam blam blam, 3 days prior to his death, according to the police. Huh? He was found. Wait. Now wait a minute. He was found prior. Oh, okay. I thought that it was suggesting that his dead body was found 3 days before his death. Never mind. Listen, I can read. Ruled as suicide, police would have claimed that the troubled youth had drowned himself. This certainly is a tragic loss, an unfortunate event indeed. Whoever comments. No claim of his body has been made yet. Voice. By the corner of Hugo's eyes, he spots a bright glint buried beneath the clutter. He reaches for it. Aww. A locket of brilliant gold shines unblemished, retaining a timeless luster. Inside, it safeguards a picture of a young man with glasses, smiling brightly. This must be the locket that he was talking about. It's so pretty. I'm surprised it still shines like this. And this picture, did he put this here? It might have been Henry. But why would he store it away like this? What should I do? Fuck. This is not as straightforward of a choice. Tits. Take it. I should probably hold on to this for now. Take it to him, please. Lewis? A gentle but distant plea echoes in Hugo's heart. Forgotten ache of yearning and regret grips him deeply. Feelings not his own start to rise like small ripples on a pond. Wanting to be found again and remembered. Don't worry, I'll bring it to him. I'll make sure of it. Hugo's about to put everything back into the chest when he feels a wet and cold sensation crawling up his leg. Water. A pool of water relentlessly spreads across the floor, already seeping into the chest. Oh, damn it, no! Suddenly the lights shut off. A scream is heard, followed by a myriad of shouts. He was about to call out to Noah, but stops at the sight of pale feet before him. Uh-oh. Looming over him stands a tall and ominous figure. His face is shrouded in complete darkness, devoid of any human emotion. It appears as a young man, but Hugo knows that it's far from it. This very thing is trying to imitate a human form, trying to be human. Hugo could only stare back. Paralyzed with fear, he's forced to watch the horror as it slowly creeps towards him. It's just like before, the sensation of someone staring at him from within. But this time it's drawing nearer, inching ever so closely. The words to call out to Colby or Noah fail to reach out. Lodged in his throat, he struggles in pain. With his breathing shallow, he tries to force his body to move. And then it stops. Looking down at Hugo, filled with nothing but malice and contempt, it speaks. Uh-huh. Don't get in my way. Uh-oh. All of a sudden, the door to the bedroom slams shut and the entity disappears. Oh, okay. The tension from his body finally releases its agonizing grip and he gasps desperately for air. His vision blurs and his breathing is haggard. He staggers towards the door. He yanks at the handle several times, but oh shit, it's tightly jammed. I thought that once it disappeared that we would be okay. Fuck. Noah? Colby! To his dismay, he's only greeted with silence at the other end of the door. Damn it! From a distance, he faintly hears the sounds of Colby's relentless barking as it gets further away from the house. Hugo rushes towards the window, tries to pry it open, but just like the door, a heavy force prevents him from doing so. Just break it, dude! Like being underwater. His movement's slow and drawn out, as if being dragged down by that thing. Fuck this! Frantically looking around the room, he spots a nearby chair. There you go! Without a moment, sure. Hugo grabs the chair and starts to strike the window. Bit by bit, the window cracks get larger with each blow, splitting off smaller pieces. The fuck is this thing made out of? Still trying to catch his breath, he musters all the strength he has left for a final blow. Damn you, just break already! Oh. Clearing out the remaining glass shards, Hugo peers his head out to see any railing he can grab hold of. However, he discovers instead that the wall adjacent is covered in ivy. Despite how heavy the rain has drastically become, he reaches out for it, grabbing a handful of the vines. Carefully, he climbs out the window, gripping tightly and making sure he doesn't lose his footing. Yet, to his luck, the patch of vines he clutches start to tear away from the wall. Out of desperation, he struggles to find his grip on another, but fails when his hand slips out of reach. Shit! Clamoring wildly as he loses grip on the ivy, he lands down onto a thicket of bushes. Air forced out of him, he heaves uncontrollably, trying to even out his breathing. But even that's laborious. An immense pain spreads across not only his back, but his entire body. Fuck. I'm getting too old for this. Although his body screams out in pain, he forces himself up. There is still time. I can do this. I have to do this. With staggering feet and haggard breathing, he makes his way to the place where it all started. To the lake, where this tragedy starts and ends. Aw, heck, what time is it? Is it midnight? Ew. Finally entering through the park, Hugo calls out to Colby and Noah. Colby! Noah! Where are you? He hears faintly the sounds of barking and echoes of people yelling in the distance. He rushes toward the echoes, guiding him through the downpour. With his heart racing and blood rushing to his head, he finds his way to the lake. Drawing closer, he sees Nina giving chase to her grandfather. Unfortunately, she doesn't get too far as Noah stops her. Grandpa, stop! Grandpa! Let me go! My grandpa, he's... No, Nina, it's dangerous. You'll get hurt too. I don't care. I don't want to lose anyone anymore. It's at that instant, Hugo trudges against the water, pursuing in Nina's stead. Hugo! No, don't! Pleas fall deaf to his ears. Not even the whines and worried cries of his partner could make him turn back. Determined, he forges ahead. Nearing the deep end of the lake, he sees Henry Mortimer gazing directly at the abyss. He looks even more frail and disheveled than before. It's as if all the life he's lived up until this point has begun to fray, draining every ounce of himself, and surrendering it all to the lake. Before Henry could lean in, Hugo reaches out and tugs at his arm. Mr. Mortimer, listen to me. Nothing is waiting for you down there, so please come back to the shore with me. Motionless and unresponsive, he stares deeply into the water. The haze over his eyes is still obscure and persistent. There are so many things we cannot afford to lose in our lives, and you're one of them. To Nina, you're all she has left. She needs you, Mr. Mortimer. Hugo felt it. A slight jolt from Henry's arm, as if stirred by the mention of Nina. He slowly turns to face Hugo. Nina. However, just as cruel and violent as the storm, Henry jerks back, wrenching his arm away from Hugo's hold on him. No, all of this is my fault. If only I got to Lewis sooner, then none of this would have happened. He was waiting for me, was patient with me, and yet for all the things he's done, I chose my family over him. He's gone because I didn't pick him. Henry backs away further from the shoreline. Mr. Mortimer. His manic eyes never straying away from Hugo as he keeps his distance from him. Lewis, I'm sorry. I was the one who dragged you into this. You deserved so much more. And I wished. Henry struggles over his words. He clasps tightly to his shirt, his throat dry and taut from all that he has bottled up. From all those repressed and silent years of just waiting. Waiting for this curse to finally take him. I wished I had gone with you that night, Lewis. Sir, even if you still covet that wish, it wouldn't resolve anything. Not for you or Lewis. I read what he wrote to you those years ago. He understood if you didn't want to come see him. But the thing is, Mr. Mortimer, Lewis never thought anything less of you. He said so in his letters to you. His letters. For the longest time I wanted to believe he hated me for that, resented me for that choice. Or at least I thought it was easier for me to think that way. How long has it been since I talked about him? It's been too long, sir. But that's why you don't have to shoulder all of that pain by yourself anymore. We can talk about it. About you and Lewis. All of it together. He extends not only his hand to him, but a promise. Promise that Henry had yearned for so long. A way to forgive himself. He hesitates at first. What fool believes in a deserved forgiveness? Such a thing doesn't exist. And yet, despite everything, Hugo still reaches out to him. To a stranger. Maybe he can be forgiven. Just as he was about to reach out for Hugo, a hand slithers around Henry's instead. Ah, fuck. Its arms unnaturally contort around him while its head perches on his shoulder. This thing, this Lewis, is no longer pretending to be human. With piercing cold green eyes, it glares directly at Hugo, mocking him, cursing him, wishing nothing but despair. We can be saved. We can be forgiven. Ah, fuck. There's only one true way out of this. I'll share with you the most happiest of endings. Ah, fuck! Before Hugo could reach out for Henry's hand, he disappears into the water. Mr. Mortimer! Without hearing the anguished cries and desperate pleas, Hugo dives after him, into the abyss. Oh man, was taking the locket a bad decision? I really thought it was right. Plunging into icy waters, Hugo feels shocks running rampant throughout his body, like spikes continuously piercing from his legs to the tips of his fingers. Fiercely and unyielding, his chest tightens and his heart races as he begins to kick his legs, hoping whichever way he goes, he'll find his way to Henry. Swimming deeper and deeper in, he sees faintly a figure slowly descending into the darkness. Oh no! As he finally gets closer to Henry, long snake-like arms stretch across the void and grab Hugo's neck, violently squeezing all the air from him. He tries desperately to wrench his hands away, but with each struggle, Hugo's movements begin to weigh heavier and heavier. Lewis, where are you, Lewis? Wait, What? It's looking for Lewis. Huh? Wait. Huh? Digging deep into his coat's pocket, he grasps tightly in his hand the locket that Henry kept and had long forgotten, holding it out as it shines ever so brightly in the dark. Ah, there you are. It releases its grip on Hugo and instead reaches out for the locket. Sorry, Henry. Taking this as a chance, he drops the chain and kicks with all his might to grab Henry's arm. With his heart and body screaming in pain, he swims desperately to the surface. Almost there. I just have to— I hope you're not saying this out loud. Save your fucking breath, dingus. As the lights from the surface begin to blur, Hugo makes one last attempt to reach for it. With his limbs worn out and his energy spent, this is all he can do. Before he loses consciousness, he notices a figure swimming towards them, getting closer and closer. And then everything fades to black. We'll never know when or where we are ever again. Drifting along with what feels like an endless sea, Hugo courses through wave after wave, not knowing where he's going or caring for that matter. All he knows is that he's very, very tired. How long has it been since he had a good night's rest? It's been too long. Maybe I should take that rest now. I'd like that so much. I agree that you deserve it, but not here. Who was that? Oh, shit, is that Lewis? I'm sorry for startling you. Just wanted to see you one last time before I go. Lewis, you've done so much for me and Henry. I can't thank you enough. No worries. I want to thank you too for watching over me. And also, sorry about your locket. I kind of threw it at the bottom of that lake. I want to apologize for my remarks from before. I really thought that I had things figured out once I found you, but you know how that turned out for me. It's alright, really. After all this time, I didn't think anyone could hear me. Especially Henry. Lewis. I was worried about him for a long time. He always wanted to keep me away from his personal struggles. To keep me safe from them. But I was too stubborn for my own good. Honestly, I don't regret it. Any of it. Even if I could no longer reach out to Henry. Fate weaved its thread back to you, our tangent, connecting us once more to this very moment. And for that, I'm forever grateful to you, Hugo. You're welcome, Lewis. From a far-off distance, Hugo hears a voice crying out to him, beckoning for him to return. Well, they're waiting for you. Guess they really are, huh? Take care always, Hugo. You too, Lewis. With his eyes closed and his senses still returning, he feels the constant tugs and licks of a certain bloodhound, whining as he tries to wake up his partner. Hugo! He also hears another familiar voice, too annoyingly close for comfort. Eyes shot right open, he jerks up. Confused, Hugo looks around before he coughs up the remaining water in his lungs. Are you alright? Noah starts to pat his back while Colby continues to whine over Hugo. What happened? Where's Mr. Mortimer? He's safe, so is Nina. They're both okay. The police and the ambulance should be arriving soon. Thank goodness. Isn't there more you have to say to me? Instead of thank goodness? I swear, you don't listen to a damn word I say. Sorry, Noah. Exhausted, he lets out a sigh, then continues to pat Hugo's back aggressively when someone approaches them. Detective Laurent? Oh, Nina. There's someone I want you to meet. Behind her stands an elderly man. Frail in stature, he timidly looks to the side pensively as he ponders to himself. Although his youth is long faded, his eyes are what catches Hugo's attention. They're no longer a piercing and vicious green, only eyes just like Nina's. Hello, Mr. Mortimer. Detective? I never got the chance to say goodbye to him. Always thought about it every day. What if Lewis lived on in this world? What if he stayed a little longer with me? It's because of that constant mindset I dragged everyone down. And I kept hurting not only me, but Nina especially. I was the one who kept hurting her, the one to blame for all of this. But you, someone that I've never met, still went out of your way to save me. Not knowing my burdens or my faults. Thank you. Hugo reaches out to Henry and smiles brightly at him. It's my pleasure, sir. Oh, but before he lets go, Henry tugs at Hugo's hands one last time. I like that the way that the sprites line up, though, it looked like he just fucking shoulder checked him really hard. Hope that someday you too will overcome it. Wow. We lived. Well, good morning, Hugo. You're bright and early. Morning. With much fervor and haste, Hugo resumes writing on his notepad. Although by closer inspection, it looks like he's gonna combust any minute. Are you writing up the report? Without looking up, Hugo responds back. Yeah, for the most part. You still need to write yours too. I will. But since I haven't had breakfast yet, and I don't like eating by myself. Oh, hell yeah! Let me guess. 2 is better than 1. Bingo! Wow, Hugo, you're really catching on. I'm so proud of you. Oh, shut the fuck up, will you? I swear, if only I hadn't fallen off from the goddamn window, maybe my report would have been shorter. Before Noah could begin to cut the bacon, he pauses at the mention of Hugo's report. Oh yeah, by the way, mind telling me what happened to the Mortimer's window? I broke it. Well, that's obvious, but what I don't understand is why is it broken? Do you know how much it costs to repair a window like that? I know, it was really dumb of me, okay, but like I was locked in the room and it was scary and I thought I was gonna die, okay? Sorry. Besides, I told Mr. Mortimer about it before we left. Honestly, I was expecting an earful from him, and also the bill. And, surprisingly enough, he said it was okay. Lucky us, right? So what, you just called it a day after all that? Thank you so much, Mr. Mortimer. You broke it, you paid for it. What the fuck? Oh, would you chill? Jesus. Of course I'll pay for it. But also they're rich, so maybe they can just foot the bill themselves. Why are we arguing about this? Each time I kept insisting, he just shrugged it off. You know, because they're rich. Said that we already went through a lot for them, so this was nothing in comparison. Ugh. You know what? He's right. After all that we went through, we deserve at least a nap. But before he could walk away, he stops and sees a familiar person walking towards the storefront, carrying something with her. Good morning, you two. Just barely a foot through the door, a certain bloodhound stirs up from his resting spot and makes his way towards Nina, tail uncontrollably wagging. Good morning to you too, Colby. Nina scratches behind one of Colby's ears, making his right foot unconsciously move on its own, scratching an invisible but desirable spot for him. Good morning, Miss Nina. Morning. What brings you here this time around? Is everything alright with your grandfather? Yes, he's doing pretty well, actually. Even better than before. We talked so much last night, I hardly slept at all. But honestly, it's been a while since I last spoke to him so freely like that. I hardly felt tired at all. That's wonderful to hear. But there is something else I wanted to ask the both of you for. To put it bluntly, I need your help. If you two aren't busy, I would like some company eating these. Inside a clear plastic bag are a stack of 2 boxes placed on top of one another. She opens the box on top and reveals a colorful array of neatly decorated donuts, all lined perfectly. No cramped or squished spaces. A work of art in Hugo's eyes. Whoa, so pretty. Donuts. They look so delicious. We're more than happy to eat these with you, Nina. There he goes again with his fucking donuts. But yes, please join us, Miss Nina. We were about to have our breakfast too. Weren't we, Kuya? Always so brazen in front of others. You do make it exceptionally easy for me. Ugh. You both have such great chemistry with each other. On second thought, I'm way too tired for this. I'm gonna have a nap. I'm gonna have to apologize in advance for this, Nina. But truthfully, I've been running on last night's coffee and I'm about to pass out any minute now. Oh, no worries. Honestly, I think a little break time sounds like what we all need right now. Thanks. Hugo puts down his pen and proceeds to head for the couch. Colby follows after him. Would you like to join us, Miss Nina? I would love to. I guess we save these for later then. Yes, please do. Now come on, it's nap time. Are we all taking a nap here? Noah sighs heavily before setting down the food on his desk. He then gestures Nina towards the sofa, in which she happily takes his offer and joins them. These couches are not big enough for comfy sleeping. Oh, I'm getting old. I mean, you are old. Shut the fuck up. This is really nice. Aw, good boy, Colby. Come here. Nina quietly coos at him and begins to scratch at the back of Colby's ears once more. Hugo leans a little closer to Noah, his voice above a whisper, but close enough for Noah to only hear him. You know, I'm glad that you came along yesterday. I accidentally clicked real fast because my finger twitched. Oh, what's this? Are you getting chummy with me now? Call it chummy or whatever, but I really mean it. If you hadn't saved us back there. Look, I told you before. I'll be there whenever you get yourself into reckless shit. Besides, didn't you say this was nap time? Get some rest. You deserve it. You too. The calming silence fills the room as they bask under the morning glow. No big parties or celebrations, but there will be a donut party later. Just each other's company and sharing this small reward. Small and warm comfort. Yahoo! We did it! Excellent. Wait, what the fuck? Why are there still question marks? Hey, wait a ding dang minute. Oh, there's another. Wait, what the fuck are these other? Because there's gotta be one for not taking the locket, but then what the fuck? Whatever. We did it. We got a good end. I'm happy to go out on that note. I want to go out on that note. That was a great note to go out on. But yeah, Stillwater. It's free to play, actually, because it was like a game jam game, I think. So if you want to find those extra thingamajigs that I missed, go for it. But yeah, what a good little game. Good shit. I'm very happy. Oh, now I want a bunch of donuts though. Nap time and donuts? I want that. But yep. Have a good one, y'all. Get you some donuts and a nap time. Everybody deserves that. Take care. I almost said have a good one again. Take care. Goodbye.